Welcome to another episode of the Mouth Breathing Podcast. I'm your host, TJ. And today I'm joined by someone from the dojo, Mr. Amir.
Mouth breathing podcast is what you call it?
Yes, thank you for being here today.
Sure.
It's the Mouth Breathing Podcast because I don't have the ability to breathe through my nose very well.
That's funny.
I used to buy into the martial arts philosophy that you get more oxygen and better performance and all of this from breathing through your nose. And then I tried doing it in between rounds in a fight, and I just couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
And so now I just mouth breathe in fights, and I just do it shamelessly.
Yeah. Well, you broke some guy's nose, so you've
I,
turned him into a mouth breather as well.
that's a good point.
Yes. So, George, why don't you tell me about your time in Thailand a little bit? Because you don't really talk much most of the time.
Well, I have to save it for this, mostly.
Okay.
Let's see, what is there to say? I got there. I got staph. I got food poisoning. I broke both my toes. The first week I broke my nose from someone training too hard.
What ethnicity was he, if you don't mind me asking?
Not Russian. It was a black dude from the UK. I think. I'm pretty sure it was him at least.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, I was FaceTiming someone back here, and they were like, "Is your nose crooked?" And I was like, "No, I'm just laying down." And then I went on a few days, and I was like, "Oh, my nose is crooked." It's a little bit more to this side now, but it's okay. I didn't start doing martial arts to win any beauty contests.
No, no, he didn't.
Yeah. So I just kind of trained and did a few touristy things. But a normal day, Monday through Saturday, would consist of waking up, going to train, shower, eat, take a nap, train again, shower, eat, go to sleep. And then you sprinkle in some private lessons here and a jog around the town here and there. But that's about it. And then I did a few touristy things. Like after I won the fight, I was with some guys from the gym who were down to go out. So we went and got drunk. And then
Where were they from?
they were German. There's people from all over the world there. But these homies of mine that I just happened to be on the same card with were German. And then I met Greg Alberg out there.
I don't know who that is. Is he famous?
No, he trains at our gym.
Oh, Greg. Okay.
Yeah.
You said his last name like he was like some guy. Yeah, no, I think I saw a picture of you guys.
He is famous to me.
Yeah.
So that was really fun. Otherwise, I really don't have very much to share about it. It was just
Where were you living? Like, where were you staying?
I was living in a bungalow.
Which is like a touristy.
It's like a little house, probably as big as this room, and it's in a touristy area, but there's like a field right next to me, and there was a water buffalo living there.
Like a rice field?
No, like just like a prairie.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, some undeveloped area. There was lots of bugs. I rode a scooter everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Were you comically large for the scooter size?
Yeah, I went for the cheapest scooter available, so that was also one of the smallest ones they had available.
Yeah.
So there was only a few times where I tried going with a passenger, but it was very tight.
What do you mean a passenger? Like with the little German World War II style, where there's a sidecar next to you? What do you mean?
No. It's just someone on the back.
Oh, okay.
Like once I had to bring one of my friends to a store on his last day to get some souvenirs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we doubled up, and it's very close, someone. It's like just having someone on your back, but you're going on a scooter, like for jujitsu.
Yeah. And do you see like Thai families who are like 3 people on a scooter with like a kid doing homework on the back, like that type of thing?
Pretty close. There was a lot of times I saw people 4 deep on a scooter,
Jesus.
which was crazy. Yeah, we hold that a little closer.
Yeah, like here.
That's perfect.
Okay.
And I saw one time I saw two guys riding two different elephants down the road. It was like on a highway.
What the fuck?
They were just riding an elephant, and they were on my side of the road, and I was so close to it, and it was like, whoa, this thing is actually huge. Like pictures don't really do it justice.
Right.
But I was on my scooter looking up at it. It's crazy.
Wow. And they were not going fast, I assume.
No, they were just walking down the road.
Could you feel like when you were? No, you probably couldn't feel because you're on the ground.
They probably felt my horsepowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And were you able to sleep? For some reason, you don't strike me as the type of guy who naps.
There was definitely an adjustment to the heat. So that really took a lot out of me right away.
Right.
I remember the first day I got there, I slept, and then I woke up and had to do my first private lesson.
Mhm.
And then I was going to puke, and it was only an hour long.
Right.
But just the heat is really different. So I feel like that helped me be fatigued a lot more and sleep a lot.
Oh, okay.
I was
got
very
you.
good at sleeping. Anytime I wanted to lay down, I was pretty good at sleeping.
Did you have AC in your bungalow?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was tough to get it just right, though. It was either too hot or too cold.
I'm sure the other people in Thailand have the same problem.
Yeah, whatever. They're used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what have I missed while I was gone?
uh,
How's your training been going? I see you have a fight coming up.
yeah. No, training was good. I was supposed to have like a few fights in February or whatever, but then everyone ended up pulling out or whatever, and
Oh, really?
yeah, yeah. So didn't end up competing. I think I did a grappling tournament in February. You were probably still here.
I was gone in February. Which tournament was it?
It was in Iowa or
Oh,
something. Yeah, I drove there, and then I did. I think it was 2 weeks ago now. I did like a. I thought it was gonna be like sparring, but it ended up being like a smoker fight or whatever in the dojo.
I think I saw some videos just in general.
Yeah, no. So I ended up doing that, and I remember I went to like. Do you know Justin? He's like. I think that's his name. He's black. He like trains from Elk River. He comes in the morning, so maybe he's a little smaller guy.
Justin Gachaba. I
Oh,
might be.
are his parents African?
Uh, I don't think they're white.
Okay, so I went in the So he like fought Muay Thai, I think like a bunch. So he went on Friday morning. I went into like grapple, whatever,
Hmm.
and have work. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm sparring tomorrow. And he was like, oh, you're fighting in the smoker. And I'm like, what do you mean fighting? Like I think it's like gonna be sparring. It's like big gloves. And he was like, no, no, no. Like people get knocked out. So I started like getting like all the same competitive feelings you get before like anything.
Yeah.
So then I lifted weights later in the day, and I was gonna grapple, and then Hannah and Hunter, who trained with us in the evening, they were like, "What are you doing here? Like, you're fighting tomorrow." I'm like, "It's not a fight. It's like, but it's Muay Thai. You know, I've never competed Muay Thai. You have, obviously, so." Yeah, and then I showed up, and I was like, "Okay." Like they said, it's a fight, but it's just in the dojo, and then I didn't have anybody to corner me, and
Mm.
I ended up fighting one of Justin's teammates or whatever, or competing against one of Justin's teammates, and they don't do weigh-ins or anything. So the guy was like a little bit bigger, a little bit taller, whatever. You know, like white guy, ponytail. You know the vibe. So he's from Elk River. So
Does he go by Tarzan?
I didn't talk to him, so I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I went well. I believe I would have won whatever, probably 2 rounds to 1. It was pretty. It was pretty competitive, and I kind of didn't have like the right mentality where I was kind of like doing well, not technically at all. I don't think I threw like 2 jabs. It was all like overhand rights, and like one time I went like bam 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 bam, and like they have like bags, so I like just kind of like double legged him over the bag, but it's Muay Thai, so
Yeah.
yeah. So I didn't do like, even I had like that MMA fight on January. I was like much more technical, but this one I was just, it's like a small area and it's just Muay Thai. So, and he like teeped me in the face and punched me as I was going out of bounds, and I was like, all right, well, this is not, I can't like relax at all. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, but no headaches, no pain or anything. Just trained the next day. But yeah, have you done those?
I wish I would have. The smokers are definitely a good segue into the real competition, but I thought I was above that, and I just went to a TBA tournament,
Oh, really?
and then I just lost the first round.
But like, did you cut a lot of weight for it or no?
A little bit, not too much.
Mm-hmm. Was the intensity just very high?
This is way higher than what I was expecting, and I was able to use so much less moves than like I do in training.
Right. Especially you, right? You have a lot of different moves you like to do.
Depends on the day.
Right.
Yeah. But I wish I would have done a smoker before I did Muay Thai fights. But you've already done the real fights, so it went well for you.
I guess, yeah, but I don't know. I mean, we didn't even really, I didn't hit pads or anything. Like, also, I don't almost ever hit pads, which is like, unless I'm in class, which is, I guess, most of what you did in Thailand is just hitting pads over and over, right?
A few times a day, yeah.
Oh, multiple,
Every
really?
training session.
Every training session?
At least like 3 or 5 rounds. They train for 90 minutes every session. But speaking of your fight in January,
Mm-hmm.
what did you do again? Second round submission, was it? Or TKO?
No, it was submit. It was the first round, yeah.
First round.
Yep.
And weren't you pretty hot on the mic? Didn't you get the crowd to pop afterwards?
No, no, I didn't, George. I just there's like I had to take the train in. It was in like North Dakota. It was like negative. It was like negative 25 degrees Fahrenheit. I was just like, this is crazy. It's in on a Native American reservation, and it's on a lake that's just, oh, this shit keeps fucking, and it's on a lake that's just desolate. So apparently, it gets colder there than it does in the Arctic Circle in the winter.
Really?
Yeah. So is this? Tell me what.
Maybe I can adjust it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel very comfortable now. Yeah, so it was really cold, and I didn't know anybody, obviously, so I got a ride to
Who gave you a ride?
some guy. I got out there at like 7 in the morning or 6:30 in the morning. It's completely dark and snowing and windy, and it's like a small town USA train station, so it's not like they let you out in an enclosed area. You just go like right onto the street. And it's I just don't know what I'm doing. You know, this is my
Yeah.
first fight. There's no one with me, and some guy's like, "Hey, are you fighting tomorrow?" From some type of car, and I'm like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Get in." I'm like, "All right," so I get in. He gives me a ride to the casino, and then the lady at the front desk let me check in early, so I didn't have to fucking wait like in the. So, I shouted her out or whatever. I was like, she said she'd be here. After the fight, I was like, "Thank you," whatever her name was at the front desk.
Yeah.
But she didn't show up. So
I'm going to adjust it again.
yeah,
I think it's just too loose.
uh,
Oh, this isn't going to move now.
okay, all right, great.
Is that good?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool first fight story. What did you say on the mic afterwards, though? Because people were laughing or cheering
I don't.
or
I
something.
just said like thank you to whoever was working the front desk. She said she'd be here, but she's not here. So that's it.
Oh, that's the shout out.
Yeah, I was just like thank
Okay.
you for letting me whatever. So
Damn. Was it a good experience?
no, I didn't have fun at all.
Really?
It was not fun at all. There's nothing fun about it. You're in the back room. There's a thin curtain. There's like your opponent is there. You know,
Yeah.
the whole time your opponent is there. After the fight, the opponent is there. You're trapped in the same area as all these people, and it smells like cigarettes. People are drinking. Like, I don't like casinos. You know what I mean? So,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, I mean, it's gonna make me better in the long term, so it's fine.
Well, maybe once when you're at Madison Square Garden with your own private locker room, then you'll think back on these times and it'll just be that much better.
Yeah, why do you compete? I don't know why you even train or compete because you're not like what do you say? You're like you don't like. Why do you do this?
It's simple. It's for the glory, and
Like,
I want to see how far I can go. Um, Something about it's a shame for a man to grow old and not see the potential his body's capable of. Some old philosopher said that, but I'm paraphrasing.
mm-hmm.
But speaking of warming up next to people in Thailand, you are in like the same room as them, and like as soon as I walked in to the stadium, I saw one other big guy who like we like looked at each other and we're like this is for sure who I'm about to fight. And then you also don't know who you're fighting till you get there.
All right.
And I use a fake name and a fake country. So he can't look me up like when I get there. We both just went in completely blind. It's kind of like a matchmaking game of something online. Like I don't know if you've ever played Super Smash Bros, but you go online, you just find a game and you play. That's kind of what it was. But that was the closest I've ever warmed up to somebody. But that might be something we do again until we're a little bit more famous and pro.
Yeah. Was it like literally the locker room is this big and you're here and he's there?
It wasn't a locker room. It was just upstairs in front of a bathroom. But he would have to like sidestep me when I was shadow boxing and stuff. And like I got my hands wrapped before he did, and then I started shadow boxing, warming up, whatever. And he's like from me to that couch away, just getting his hands wrapped and like the oil rubbed on him and stuff. So there's yeah.
Did you get massages and stuff? Like before the fight, I heard they rub Thai oil and give you like.
It's not so much a massage, it's just to get the oil on you. Have you ever had that on you?
No.
It just burns. It's like really hot, and I don't know what the point of it is. It also makes you slippery. But it's just what they do. If you ever fight like in TBAs or anything with our gym now, then they'll do the same stuff. I don't really like the Thai oil. I'd rather go in dry. That's just me, though.
Yeah. No. Yeah. That's.
I'm a dry rubber.
Mm-hmm.
You use lubricants?
I use like cocoa butter on my skin and stuff. Yeah. But I actually got like my girlfriend was like, "What are you doing? Like, you can't put Vaseline on your skin after training, because I guess it would clog like your pores or whatever."
Oh.
So then I started using, bro. How do you say this? CERA, capital V, lowercase e. How do you say that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think it's pronounced KY jelly. But what I'm asking is, when you're baiting, are you a dry rub guy or do you use cocoa butter?
Baiting?
Baiting.
What is? Oh, masturbating. Oh, I don't feel comfortable discussing that.
That's okay. We can go on. CeraVe? CeraVe?
CeraVe. Okay, I didn't know if it was that or
Maybe.
Crave.
Yeah, I don't know either. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. So I started using that, and I don't know. Do you have like a skincare routine? That's something women have. They have like a. I'm
Yeah.
starting to do it now.
Yeah, it's very practical. There's benefits to be reaped. Fortunately, I am Colombian and I have very oily skin naturally. Fortunately or unfortunately.
Right.
The older I get, the more I realize it's a blessing. When I was in high school and stuff, I hated having a shiny forehead and being greasy, but I'll have like less wrinkles and I get very tan pretty well.
Right.
So I don't really do much for that. But if I'm eating poorly, I'll start to get acne. I'll get some zits and stuff. Kind of have it right now because I've been eating pretty badly.
You look fine.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, so you're a believer? This is just comically close to my face.
That's perfect. You might, just for the sake of the camera, you might just want to have it so you can see it. So you can see the camera. Actually, you look good.
I
You
thank.
look darn good.
Yep. Thank you. But you're a guy who seems to believe in diet, right? Because earlier I was like, hey, pizza, and you're like, I'm locked in. So you believe the diet affects skin and performance, weight.
Of course. People told me before I went to Thailand that the food is very different.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's so true after being there because I would just go to the nearest restaurant and eat pad thai or fried rice every meal of the day, 3 or 4 times a day. And I was losing weight like crazy. And if I do that here, it's just lots of stuff that goes into what we're eating. You don't feel as full. You it just seems to be much worse on my body here. I have back pain when I live here. When I
Right.
was doing Muay Thai there, it felt so good.
You came back like first thing I noticed was you looked like slimmer
Yeah,
and you looked like a little tanner and you smiled more.
the smile is fading quickly the longer I'm here. But yes,
I was like, wow, George is like, you know what I mean? Maybe don't they call it like the land of 1,000 smiles or something? So
they do call it that. Um, Everyone's super happy. I think part of I don't know. This is maybe just me being presumptuous, but
mm-hmm.
I feel like they also understand that the foreigners are there to give them money, so they are even more happy. And they're also just happy for their culture. It's a multitude of factors. But when I would go and eat somewhere, it would be like $2 for the meal I had, and then I would give them like $1 tip, and they'd be like, "Oh, this is too much. No, 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 I can't take this." And I was just like, I can take you away from all this, right?
I'm dead. Keep going.
So there was a few times where they were just like shocked by the tip, but I was like, this really ain't no thing.
Right, yeah.
hmm
Is tipping there like a common practice? Because a lot of countries, it's not.
I'm not really sure, but I was tipping there, which very generous for them. I think they thought, but for me, I felt like I was almost stiffing them. No,
Because
no diddy. Because yeah, it was just such a smaller amount. Tell me about your next fight coming up here.
I don't know, it's in May or something.
Do you know much about your opponent?
Not too much, no.
Anybody, anywhere, anytime?
No, I actually, I got offered like a short notice fight on like 3 or 4 days, and I was gonna say yes, but the guy is like, it was the weight class above, and the guy had
Oh,
like 7 fights or something. I wanted to do it because it made me really like scared and excited, and those feelings. But
yeah,
coach and stuff, they were like, "You can do it. You'll probably win, but you know, why take such a crazy risk to go drive to I don't know where it was, the Horseshoe Casino in Illinois or something." So
oh, whoa.
yeah,
Another train ride.
yes, it was gonna be another train ride. So
What weight is your fight coming up at?
I believe it's 155, and yeah, I don't know.
Well, you're somebody that trains a lot all the time. It's not like you aren't there much and then start attending for fights.
Right. Yeah,
So you feel like you're always ready for competition?
I believe so. Yeah, I think some people say they need to like get into like a war mindset.
hmm
What do you think about that?
Yes and no. I feel like something I've learned that really works well for me, I've tried to just be really calm when I walk into the octagon or ring, whatever, and then I just start slow. And I think that's why I lost my the only MMA amateur loss I have. So since that loss, I start yelling. I let out some war cries before, and I've been on I've been on a tear since then. So I like to get into the warrior mindset. I feel like maybe it helps me a little bit if I have a few weeks to visualize and do all that as well. I remember for the fight in November in Canterbury,
Mm-hmm.
we signed, both of us signed the agreement like 12 weeks out. He actually might be coming here to train today. My opponent from that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, like, I would just be driving down the road like 10 weeks out, not thinking about it, and then it hit me, and I'm like, oh shit, we're gonna do this. And then my heart would start pounding,
Right.
and then just like warming up for training, it would just be random moments. My heart will just start pounding,
Right.
and then I think that really helps me get into the.
Deal with the nerves in the fight.
I don't know if it's. I'm a half Norwegian. So there's a part of me that's a Viking, and I'm a berserker, and I think that when I tap into that, I kind of get some more power that I don't have if I'm as calm. So that might just kind of help me prepare for the berserker to come out.
So your only loss that you had or whatever was that you had you were too calm and you started too slow. Is that what happened? Because I've only ever seen you win. Since I've met you, you've just been winning. So
Yeah, you came right after the loss. Well, that's what I like to tell myself. Whether that's the truth or not remains to be seen, I guess, in the future. But I just got. He just shot in. It was like a minute into the fight. I got choked, or a rear naked choke, and then we like scrambled and jujitsued a little, and I just was not at 100% firing. I feel like, and I just left my chin up, and he just got it. So, and I like to push the pace now more. That just when I start out coming out hot, it yields much better results. Oddly enough, the guy that beat me has been messaging me on Facebook. He said he's about to start join our gym starting Monday and start training.
it's
But I
gotta.
have no beef with anyone
No,
that
I
I
know you
fought.
don't. Right.
I like to talk shit before, but once we're all done, then I'll dap you up and we can be cool.
Yeah. I don't know. Are you pretty competitive in like other things too?
Um, I don't know. Depends. If I'm playing basketball against someone who played in college, I understand I'm probably not going to win, but I like to have fun and play the game nevertheless. Are you a competitive person?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. You didn't know that. You knew that. I tried to not. I try to learn, and it's okay to lose in training stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a good mindset to have. And you're of the. I think that I heard someone or the other talking about like GSP training, and when he was coming up, he was like always practicing moves and stuff. And then I also noticed that you're always trying to learn what your opponent was doing, whether it's in training or whatever.
Yeah, it's something that Coach Greg said. He said if someone taps you out with something in like rolling or gets you with a shot in sparring, if once the round is over, you have those 45 seconds, you ask them, "Hey, like, how'd you get me?" They'll be so excited to just freely give you their secrets.
Mm.
So sometimes even if you let somebody, you don't let somebody hit you clean, but sometimes you'll let somebody do a move on you or submit you or whatever. And it's always tough for me to, no matter what, I never like that feeling. But if they do something that works against you, you ask them, they'll be most of the time excited. Not you. You're the fucking worst when it comes to that shit. I'm like, George, yeah, how'd you do it? You're like, bro, you just gotta.
I don't realize what's happening most of the
Yeah,
time.
I'm
You
like,
gotta
George, what?
understand that.
Yeah, but I'm like, George, I know you watch a lot. Like, I know you obviously improve over time. So there is a certain element where I've seen you ask questions and stuff. It's not like you're completely not conscious, I'm like, how'd you do that? And you're like, you just gotta feel it, bro. You know what I mean? Or you'll be like, jujitsu's gay or
It
something.
is.
So I mean, yeah, it is, bro. But it's like, I don't know. So some people are better at giving me advice after something than not, and you're one of the worst.
For sure.
Yeah.
You are taking an intellectual approach to it. I am a repetition approach kind of guy. I don't really know what's happening. I just do it a lot. And I don't learn very fast either, probably because of my approach. But just hitting pads, and hitting the bag, whatever, doing the reps and stuff, then I just don't really think about it. It just kind of happens. So I can't even really explain it most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so interesting. So you know how they have like this ecological or whatever? You're asking Coach Andy about that last week.
Yeah, he hates those questions.
He seems to enjoy them when you say, why do you think he hates them?
I think he's been bullied about it enough. We're not bullied, but teased and about ecological training and stuff. And then there's me, who I think he responded well to me because he understands that I'm just oblivious and not trolling him. Although maybe there was a little element of troll, but mostly just being oblivious.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about you, George, is you're a smart guy who's just getting smarter, but
I don't think
you
I've ever heard that before.
no, you're getting smarter, it's for sure. But you don't show all your cards at once.
Hmm.
So like
What kind of cards do you think I'm holding? Because I don't even know what I'm
and
holding
maybe
most of
Uno
the
or
time.
something. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not.
it's like
Yeah,
go fish.
yeah. But I will say, the ecological thing is interesting because they're like repetition doesn't exist, or they say like there's repetition without repetition, and you're like I'm a repetition guy. So it sounds like some of the stuff you do is almost ecological, where you don't think about it too crazy. You don't try to like break it into like a set pattern. You just do it over and over, and you find a way.
Yeah. Yeah, I like training with Coach Andy because he just like has you roll or spar, and I think you've asked me before why I spar so much and stuff, and it's just fun. It's just fun for me, and I want to train a lot until I retire from martial arts, so I'm trying to keep it fun. And of course, you have to have good training partners if you're gonna spar a lot.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
That's the thing. Yeah. So, but I don't know. You're what 6'1", 6'2"?
4.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So your head your head is kind of in the clouds, so to speak. So it's harder. You don't get hit in the head clean as much as somebody who's maybe 5'4", where you just like put your arm out and you're on the top of their head. So that might be part of it. And you have good footwork. So you know, one thing I have noticed about your style, George, is you tend to hit the body more than most tall guys. Taller guys tend to just hit the head or kick, but you like to hit the body as well. So
You gotta mix it up, not let them know where the next one's coming.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. So, but what about like Coach Greg's class, where there's like drilling the first half, and then the second half, it's like games or whatever. Like,
This isn't the best thing to say, but there are certain coaches I'm more willing to just fall in line and buy into what they're selling. So like it's not limited to, but just two examples are like Coach Greg and Coach Nat, also Coach Andy. Whenever they like tell us what we're doing, whether it's like drilling or game, whatever, I'm like, all right. Well, I believe what they're saying because they're gurus in their industry.
yeah,
But then there's like some newer coaches or something where I'm like, I don't know if I really believe this. So,
yeah. I know what you mean. You're like, even if I don't see the reason, these guys have 20, 30 years more experience than me, so
Yeah.
I'll just shut up and do it.
Yeah. And even sometimes like Coach Greg will show us like flashy takedowns or something, like
Very flashy
cool
sometimes.
moves,
Yeah.
and I'm just willing to do it, even though I probably will never do it in a competition. But I'm all in.
And then
Once you
said,
get
yeah, go
once
ahead.
you get 3 UFC champions, I'll
Yeah.
buy what you're selling.
Yeah. So, did you ever train anywhere else? No, right?
My martial arts journey begins in going into 10th grade, where I did jujitsu for like 2 or 3 months,
Oh,
and then I quit for like 10 years or so until I came to the academy.
but you wrestled in like high school or whatever?
I wrestled in high school and did 1 year in college.
Did you wrestle in middle school too, or no? No.
No, but wrestling is where I discovered my lust for glory and the pursuit of greatness. Because I was really fat. I was 235 pounds, 10th grade.
Yeah.
And I was on JV, and I started off 1-9, and then I learned this move called the headlock. Do you know it?
Yeah.
It's just very basic. No one likes it when you do it. Coaches will be disappointed in everything. But I went from 1-9 and I finished 12-10, and I'm like, all right, maybe I can do something. And then I lost 50 pounds from that year to the next year. Puberty had a big factor in that as well. And then I was like 500. I was like, like 16 and 16 or whatever it was my junior year. And then I was like 34-9 or something my senior year and went to state. So then I'm like, why not me? It is within me. And that's what I tell myself now, actually, when I'm getting hyped up and yelling and stuff, activating berserker mode. I just know that it is within me. It is within me. That's what I tell myself when I was sealing the ring at the Muay Thai fight. That's what I tell myself when I was like walking into the octagon in November. It is within me. We're capable of so much more than we think.
Bro, I that reminds me. I don't watch like a ton of TV and movies because I like have bad attention span for that type of thing.
Hmm.
But I was randomly injured or sick or something like a few weeks ago, and I watched this movie. Have you ever heard of it? It's called Aquila and the Bee. It's about like
Yeah,
you've seen it,
I've seen it.
bro. She has this amazing quote. Got so emotional because like I don't watch movies, so when the music starts playing and shit, they
Yeah,
do the zoom in. So what's her name? Kiki Palmer is like 12 years old.
I used to think she was so hot.
Aquila?
Yeah, I think we're similar age. Kiki.
Yeah, she might be like a few years older than you, but yeah, right. Huh? I don't remember ever thinking that.
Well,
Maybe
usually I'm not into black chicks.
I think the glasses might have thrown me off because she's, I
She was
like.
supposed to be a nerd for that one.
Yeah, her mom though, Angela Bassett, has always been a beautiful woman, but in the movie or whatever. But yeah, so Kiki Palmer is like being she's like from South Central Los Angeles. You know the fucking story. So she's like trying to do the same shit you're talking about, which is like believe in herself more, that envision more for herself. And her mentor Lawrence Fishburne is like, read that poem, and it's like a poem that like some Jewish American lady wrote, but that Nelson Mandela like referenced, and it's like. Our greatest fear is, Kiki Palmer and her fucking words. Our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our greatest fear is what we are capable of is greater than what we can imagine. Who am I to be like beautiful and smart and this and that and that? And it's like, go. It's basically like you go get 'em, girl. But
Yeah.
in a nice poem. So
Yeah. Well, it's true. I think once you have the belief in yourself, it really shows in performance. Like, I'm starting to build confidence. I'm starting to actually throw combinations and strikes and stuff. And yeah, I don't know. My style's changing just because I'm like, fuck it. I can be faster than him, and my timing's probably better. My eyes are probably better. So then you can just go forward and do more stuff that I maybe couldn't otherwise. When I was like, I can't get hit. I can't get hit. I have some bad Muay Thai fights. It was an Ignite fight in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I remember Keys and I and Troy. I don't know if you know Troy.
I've met him a few times.
Troy was a big part of the camp. We would train at 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, Monday through Thursday, and he like was teaching us how to train like pros. I owe a large majority of my Muay Thai prowess to the great and powerful Troy Trouble Jones, but that's beside the point. So we trained hard. I was in very, very good shape. And then I go out there and I'm afraid to get hit. And I'm just throwing like one shot at a time and like coming back. And then, yeah, it's things have changed a little bit since then.
So how would you would just end up clinching a lot? Like, because in Muay Thai you can't grapple, right?
I
So
was afraid. I was like in my head, I was afraid to like engage. So I didn't even clinch him. Even though in the back of my head, I knew I could clinch because I had a belt from clinching already. But
what do you mean you had a belt from clinching?
I won a TBA tournament,
You won a TBA tournament?
C class.
That's amazing, though.
I,
That's like multiple fights in a day, right?
it was only two in
Mm-hmm.
my bracket, so it's cooler than it sounds. But I have a belt at home on a shelf above my bed,
That's awesome, bro.
so I could clinch. I knew I could clinch because that's just wrestling.
Okay.
It's not striking, but yeah. And then yeah, like I think I was expecting a lot more of myself, and other people were too. And yeah, the confidence is huge in fights.
Confidence is big, but confidence is big. However, I believe that, of course, the mind moves the body, but at the end of the day, what it's like somebody said, like, this wins fights. Like, you can have the most confidence in the world and get fucking flatlined. And you can be not that confident, but you can end up winning too. So I think it's easier if you believe in yourself, but sometimes when you don't believe in yourself during the training camp, you push yourself so hard and then you do more. Overconfidence is also a problem. So I think I think yes, the ideal is a healthy mix. So
Yeah, for sure. I'm also trying to juggle being too confident and coming out trying to strike a lot in this next fight because I know this dude sucks at striking and he's just going to try and grapple me. So I don't want to just come out banging and just get shot on.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, you always figure it out. You did put that 45-year-old father of three to sleep earlier in the year, so you have good grappling as well.
Yeah. Well, he died a year ago and then came back to life. So,
It's absolutely insane.
yeah, that was. Oh, well, it's still a cool highlight reel for my collection.
That's the first time I saw the other side of you, where you're very reserved. Even now when we're talking, you're a little more animated than other times. Maybe, going to Thailand, you're a little different now, but just in general, what's that, like the stoic, whatever. And you just got amped up, which was fun to see.
I think that was one of the first times I had started yelling before the battle cry and tapping into berserker mode. And that actually was the first time because I remember everyone's just like chill jujitsu,
Right.
and then I'm back there yelling for no reason. Yeah, it's funny how returning from Thailand, everything was the same,
It's
but
kind of
everything had changed at the same time. Nothing had changed, but everything was different, is what I meant to say.
because you had changed.
Perhaps.
Yeah, it is weird. That must have been like coming to the academy the first time last week.
Well, that was not different. I was glad to return.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I love the academy. If it weren't for the academy, I would not live in this state. I would probably live in Texas.
Hmm.
to be honest. Or somewhere warm without income tax. You know how it is.
I I can't say that I do.
But I don't know. Greg Nat and Coach Andy and Coach Dave and everybody else that I learned from there, I think it's just world class. The tutelage, at least.
Yeah.
I understand some gyms might have bigger pools of training partners,
Yeah, that's true.
but I don't want to off getting knocked out every day by these people. I would rather just have really good coaches who can tell me what I should do differently.
Who care about you as a person, not just if you win or lose.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool like that.
Yeah. It is interesting though the mentality you have after like decades of being in martial arts and seeing so many people like get hurt and hurt others just probably makes you so calloused
Yeah.
sometimes, you know?
Yeah, I remember. Speaking of being callous, I was doing MMA sparring at 11 a.m. like 2 years ago, probably, and then there was like a scramble. I ended up getting kneed in the face, and my nose got broken. That was the first time I broke my nose, and then my shit was like sideways. And actually, Rose and Pat were there, like Thug Rose, and I'm like on my hands and knees, and I get up and I don't realize what happened. And I'm like, something's not right. And I start feeling it. And then I like look over and like Rose and Pat are just like shocked by my crooked nose. And I go look in the mirror and I see it's just totally messed up. And I'm like, Coach Greg, will you please help me put this back right? And he's like, nope, go do it yourself. Go do it in the mirror. You better do it quick before it like cools down and you can't move it anymore. So that was a very callous moment, and I'm just like, all right, fuck it. And I just went and pushed it back in place. So that was the first time it became a little more crooked. I've been getting progressively less attractive since the academy started,
I can only imagine what you looked like before.
but I'm also in much better shape, and I feel younger now than I did before.
That's the thing, you look a little younger since you came back from Thailand. It's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, George, what time is it? Let's get to training soon.
9:08.
Okay, we got a little bit more time.
Okay. What time would you like to be there by?
I don't know, 9:35, 36.7.
We can do that. What are you guys going to train today?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Whatever Hunter wants.
Yeah,
You're always willing to learn.
I'm always willing to learn from anybody who isn't you.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's funny that Coach Greg is like, I remember someone like popped their shoulder or something out of the socket in training. And I was like, Coach, and he's like, oh, stuff.
Yeah.
I got to go teach this class now. He's like, oh, can you do, he helped the guy. It's not like he didn't help. He's not like a heartless person.
Yeah.
And he helped the guy, but he was like, stuff happens. Because he's also like, they're so tough.
Yeah.
They've had so many, they've seen so much that it's like, it's very hard to phase them, you know?
Can't be phased. One time, Mitch took me down, and you know how there's the garage doors that open
Yeah.
on the jujitsu side?
Yeah.
I think like my head just like smacked into the wall, and it was very loud
Right.
because it was like hollow. It sounded way worse than it was.
Yeah.
And then it was like the back of my head like getting doubled, like just boom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, Greg just like looked at it and didn't really care.
Yeah. It's like they care, but it's just, I cannot, because the dojo that I trained at before in Boston, we had like 60, 70 members total, you know? Here, I don't know how many people are at the academy. 300, 250.
I don't know. There's a lot of people that have memberships that just don't go too.
That's
That you
shocking
see
because
rarely.
it's not cheap, so that's shocking to me,
No.
And you're a guy who's a business owner, but you still are pretty frugal with your money, I would assume.
Try to be.
Yeah, that shirt wasn't cheap though.
This was from TJ Maxx. I think I spent like less than $10.
Shirt wasn't cheap.
Not for me. Yeah.
Yeah,
So no, you're right. Are you gonna do jujitsu and MMA today?
I think so. Yeah, see how my body feels. Hey, have you ever been kicked in the arm and you're like, wow, if that was without a shin guard, that would have broken my forearm?
Sometimes.
Yeah. How hard does Coach Troy hit, like his kicks? Or is he mainly a puncher?
Depends where you're training with him. If you're training with him at 11 a.m. MMA or 5:30 MMA, he's gonna fuck you up. If you're training with him 9 p.m. at night, after we do, so like Tuesdays and Thursdays we'd spar, but we would hit the bag and do conditioning first. That's like technical sparring, and he was very gentle and stuff. So it depends where you get him. Depends what mood he's in. If you hit him hard, he's gonna fuck you up. So there's a lot of factors, but he has the capability of being a very gentle training partner, and also the opposite.
Why do you think during MMA, because MMA is more intense, he wants to simulate the fight more?
Well, I think maybe part of the factor is it's invite only, and that's where it's where more of the skilled martial artists at the academy will attend. So it's like if you're not gonna do it there, where would you? I don't know. I don't want to pretend to know his reasoning for doing
Right,
the things he does, but
right. No, I wonder. And in Thailand, Bangtao, it's like an international gym, right?
it's very touristy. There was like 100 people in each class
Wow.
until, so that was like so my time there. I was there for like 4.5 weeks. The first 2 weeks they just had me in like the foundations, like the intro class, where it's like 100 people every class, and some people are like on day one, like literally they're just on vacation and wanted to try it out, and then some people have been doing it for 10 years. After 2 weeks of doing that, I was like, "Yo, I'm trying to do a fight. Like, let me get on. Let me get in with y'all." So then after that, they took me from there and put me with their pros, and then it was like only good people with experience. So it was very touristy at first, and then it became like 15, 20 people in each class once it's invite only.
And did you do sparring there in the pro class?
Yeah.
And what's the sparring like? Do they do? Is it true that in Thailand they spar lighter, or because they're foreigners they don't, or Thai people do spar hard? What's the truth?
I think there's a mixed bag wherever you go. Most people are pretty chill, is what I find with everywhere I go. Most people are pretty chill, and we can do playful technical rounds.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people just, one reason or another, want to go harder.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my ass kicked a few times by some very good people, and I also pwned some people.
Did you spar Thai guys ever or no?
Only coaches at like the one-on-one training sessions, and they would just do like 10-minute rounds of like very technical and stuff. They were very, very technical. Like the crews,
Mm-hmm.
the Ajans were pretty chill. Like I didn't really feel like I would get hurt, but yeah, I don't know. With foreigners, it's just whatever you get, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, and whatever the Hickman brothers like, they run it, right? Did you see them a lot?
I think they were the wrestling, more facilitating of wrestling stuff and MMA,
Okay.
but I only did no gi once, mobility class once. The rest was Muay Thai. So I was just working with Thai guys that I couldn't communicate with very well. Have you ever saunaed or cold plunged?
I don't think I've ever saunaed in my life. Maybe I've been in like a sauna. Um, I've never been in like a cold plunge, but I used to. After you told me in the fall or something that there were benefits, I used to start swimming in the lake when it got pretty cold.
Hmm.
Um, since you told me all those studies or whatever, I didn't look them up. I just completely took you at face value.
Yeah.
I'd always just end my showers now with colds for like half a minute or so. I don't know if that's enough to feel any effects, to be honest, but
Your guess is as good as mine. But have I told you about Embrace North?
I think you mentioned it one time.
It's pretty cool. They just have like 3 big saunas and then a row of cold plunges that it's like 10 slots, 8 slots, I don't really know. But if you'd like to experience sauna cold plunge today, I made reservation at 2:15 and 2:45. So if you did want to try that, we
For
could just
sure.
go there at 2:30. It's pretty close to where you live, actually.
Oh,
It's
really?
very close, probably less than 10 minutes.
Yeah, let's do it. I'd be
Okay,
down.
cool. So we can do that too.
Yeah. George, did you light the fucking candle?
Yeah, it's been going this whole time.
Really?
Can't you smell it?
No, I can't smell it at all. All right, George. Ask 2 more questions and let's fucking go to training.
All right, let's see.
I haven't eaten shit today. Okay, here's a question I have for you.
Okay.
Have you ever played chess before?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you like kind of good?
No, I'm pretty bad. I can beat someone else who doesn't play,
Right.
but if they have experience and have a ranking, it's over.
But you see, like I knew you would fucking have played chess, because you're the type of guy who. How did you used to talk when you were high school and early college? More slang, because now you speak very properly.
I've always had good English. My mom was the head of the ESL department at the university. I'm actually not going to say that. She was a head of ESL at a college back in the area that I was from, and English has always been proper, but my mannerisms have changed a lot. Once I was like 24, 25, you know how the prefrontal cortex finishes developing. I was very loud in class. I wanted to be a class clown. I was always in trouble. I was doing anything to make my homies laugh. And fat, always in trouble, yeah. Big gamer.
Boom, 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 boom.
Halo, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, RuneScape. Those were my big 4.
RuneScape is kind of different than the other ones you mentioned.
It's very addicting.
Really?
Yeah.
And you paid?
Well, you have to. Well, you had to back then. Now you can buy it with in-game currency. I'm not really into RuneScape now, but I dabble on World of Warcraft from time to time.
I feel like you'd fucking kill it at Dungeons and Dragons, but you never got the opportunity because you were.
Just too busy on my games.
Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting how things change over time. Like, if you played video games in like the 80s or whatever, or early 90s, you were a fucking nerd. And then it's like, if you don't play video games, you're like, what's going on? And it was the same with anime and all that shit, science fiction, whatever it is, it's chess. Like you were a nerd, and then 10, 20 years later, yeah, you're fucking cool if you do it.
So do you dabble with gaming or anime?
I never really had a gaming system, so no. Anime, yeah, I watched a lot of anime. You know who's big into anime is Raphael.
Yeah.
Raphael is big into anime, and I think he went to like Nogi Worlds. He like got guillotined in like the 5th round. Nogi Blue Belt Worlds at his weight class.
Very competitive.
So competitive. All
Yeah.
those guys have been training 8 years or whatever.
Hmm.
And he came back. He did 1,000 push-ups and 1,000 squats.
Rock Lee.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, he's a fucking beast, bro.
So you're familiar with Naruto then? Have you
God.
watched all of Shippuden?
I haven't seen all the like filler episodes, but yeah, I watched like
Filler doesn't matter.
yeah, no.
Yeah, on my last IG reel, I had the cover for it as Night Guy. You remember Night Guy?
No. Guy Sensei or Rock Lee?
Guy Sensei when he opens up the 8th gate
Oh,
and he has the red
shit.
glow.
Oh, damn, I forgot about the
Yeah.
gates, the gate of suffering and shit.
I don't know what they are, but yeah,
Yeah.
all 8 gates. The last one is the gate of death, I think.
And he opens that up to become Night Guy. Naito Gaio.
That one is probably the most epic anime fight. Top two, at least, most epic anime fights ever.
It's pretty crazy. Their whole style was instead of learning like right because you have like genjutsu, ninjutsu, and taijutsu. So you have like
Wrestling, jujitsu, boxing,
boxing,
Muay
Muay Thai,
Thai.
or whatever. They were just like, we're just gonna fucking Bruce Lee this shit. It's
Yeah.
like, guys, if all you had to do was learn like just a little bit, like a little bit of like trickery or
Just
something to
straight
make
Muay Thai.
just straight Muay
That's
Thai.
all.
It's like
And maybe that's why I like Muay Thai so much and dislike grappling. I learned from Mike Guy.
Might guy, yeah, yeah. All right, George,
All right.
let's go.
We just did an hour and 30 seconds. Thank you for being here today. Tree Beard Nipples on Instagram. How else can people get a hold of you and follow your journey?
I think that's the only way.
Tree Beard Nipples. Today we're doing Jiu-Jitsu Challenge number 34.
Yeah.
What, before we go, I have to ask, what is the reasoning behind these captions?
I don't know what to say. I didn't know how to. I made an Instagram like a few months ago because
Yeah.
Coach Rashal was like, "Hey, you have to make an Instagram or no one's gonna get you. We're not gonna get you any fights." So I was like, "Well, I have literally no idea what to say. What am I gonna say? Like, post a picture of myself with my baby that I don't have. Talk about like being a father is all about like, no, bro, that's not me. You know what I mean? So
Squat challenge.
or something. You feel me? Like I don't know what to say. So at least it's you know me. I'm also a repetition guy. So it's a format I can just fucking plug something into whatever I'm already training. I'll just say, hey, I can do this. Can you do this?
Easy.
Easy.
That's a great note to end on. The great and powerful Amir, thank you for being here today.
All right, George.